Hello. Hello,
Hello.
hello.
Hello. I love our music.
Me too. Me too. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of First Ladypreneurs. I am Lady Shawana Kennedy, and I am joined by the lovely.
Lady Tiffany Anisette Pringle. Welcome everyone to First Ladypreneurs. This is our talk show series that we do monthly, twice a month. And the purpose of this show is to inspire and showcase women. That's right, women from all walks of life. We explore their determination and passions to achieve success and follow their dreams, putting themselves first, right? You heard that first, to achieve more while providing the tools, tips, and business strategies to help them succeed and win. It's all about daring yourself to step outside of the box and do something you have never done before. So that's what First Ladypreneurs is all about. And we welcome you to this show for the month of May. Thanks for being here.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. That's right. With the month of May, we think about what? We're just a few days from Mother's Day. Yes,
Yes,
yes, yes,
yes.
yes, yes, yes. So sending out early Mother's Day love to my mom. And to look, Lady Pringle's mom. Hello, mom. Are
Yes.
excited because it is a privilege. I count it a privilege for us to be called mother, right? We know that the Bible even speaks of a mother being found, right? Well, right? And I'm so excited. So today, with this being a special Mother's Day edition, we thought it fitting to take a little bit of walk down what memory lane because we are both moms and we both have children who are, woo, they have a gap of an age range, right? So we found that funny. So it's nice to have some commonality in those areas along this journey so that to let you even know that you are not alone.
No, you're not.
Matter of fact, it doesn't matter if you birth children or if God has even blessed you to be a guardian or a godparent or even a grandparent. We know there's different situations, but if you have claimed someone as yours and you love on them, right? And we're also, taking a moment to remember the moms who have passed on, and so we know that this can be a tough time for a number of people. So you are in our thoughts and our prayers, and we are sending you love and light, but wanting you to know that it's still good. And this is a time to remember the good times. We know a lot of stuff happens, right, along this journey of motherhood, and
Yes.
it'll be a whole nother episode all by itself. But we're choosing to think about some funny stuff. Uh, we were laughing, having this conversation to say what we were gonna, how we were gonna dig in. And one of the things was us having children with a gap, right? Who know what that feel like? We would love for you to please, please, please put in the comments if you know that or know someone who experienced children from different generations. What does that look like? What does that feel like for you? Are they girls? Are they boys? Right? Is it a mix? Do you have a Brady Bunch going on because you're blessed with a blended family? Right? Right?
I love it. I love it. You
Right?
just thought of everything just now, like
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
all types of blended families, right?
Yeah, right.
We do share that in common. I have two adult children and then a 6-year-old, right? So my oldest is 21. My next child, who was the baby for 14 years, he's
Oh,
20. And then I have a 6-year-old who will be 7 this year. And she's getting to live as if she's the only child because everyone's grown and out of the house, and I'm starting all over. You know,
we
that feels weird.
joy. What joy. Yeah, for those who don't know, yeah, I am the lovely mom of three. That's right, one, two, three. My oldest, God love her, who is actually in Aruba right now. She will be 35. Woo!
Wow.
35. But I have my middle child, Gavin. He is 29. But then we have the lovely, lovely, lovely Elle, who just turned 13. So you have 13
Oh,
to 35, right? So that's a nice mix in there. And it has had some, some look ups and downs, but a lot of joy, a lot of joy. They say, look, you know what? This is what I'm going to ask Lady Pringle right now. Now they typically say that your kids turn out how you were, and they say you're going to get it back in your kids. Did you ever experience any of that?
I would say yes. I would say yes. I'm able to see what my mom has shared before when
Mhm.
she said, one day you're going to have children and you're going to know what it feels like too, whatever that too was, right?
Yeah.
So I've dealt with, the teenage challenges
Mm.
of, I had boys. So what that looked like is them trying to show their manliness. I'm growing up now, mommy. You
Yeah.
can't tell me anything. And now I have a 6 year old who is a little girl and she wants to be all things like me, which makes me smile. And she constantly reminds me and says, well, mommy, I just want to be like you. When can I be like you? How soon can I grow up to be like you? And that really makes my heart smile because here's a child watching everything that I do, observing things that I don't even realize she's observing and absorbing. And she is literally becoming a mini me and wants to be like me. So all I can say is, can we keep that? I don't want it to change. Now, you had an older daughter. So you had your girls, you had two, a older daughter and then a
Girl,
younger daughter.
boy, girl. Yeah. Girl, boy, girl. Yeah.
So how do I, look forward to that staying? I want to keep that love.
It is. It's all about, of course, we have to remember, because with the generation and the gap, that oftentimes some parents get caught in that trying to be more of a friend first versus a parent.
Yes.
uh, it's reminding them that you are the parent, and as you grow in grace and in relationship, it then turns into more of a friendship. And that's what I'm super super grateful for, especially with when I think about Shania being the oldest and being a girl, that me respecting her as an adult, as well as where I see that I get to have the mix of both. I get to see and appreciate her as my daughter, but also watching her grow as a woman, and then her even being able to talk to me not only as a mother but as a friend. Uh,
Yes.
so it's that, and then with Elle being younger, knowing that she's just as sweet as pie, a little bit shyer because Shania was my free child. Uh,
Okay.
so to watch her grow, the dynamic is a little bit different. So I don't know that Elle would say I want to be just like you, especially in my current uh, um, business path and all of those things that make me be confident and stand before others, because she's a little bit more shyer. Uh, but it's nice to know that I tell them, and even with Elle, she gets the best of me, though. I believe with you, I think that I believe our children, us having that, because we've lived a little, we've experienced some things, right?
Yes, I believe that. And my sons remind me of that. They'll
Mm,
say, mommy, you would have never let us get away with that.
mm,
You're not going to say anything. So,
mm,
unlike your younger daughter, my younger daughter is very outspoken. She speaks what's on her mind. She lets
mhm.
you know how she feels, and she's bold, and she doesn't mind expressing herself, and she talks constantly. And I tell my husband she has both of us, so we're both preachers, right? And outside of preaching, like I teach, I do seminars and webinars, so I'm always talking. And she is literally a little person that has been given all of those traits and characteristics of who we are. So, and funny is, I named her Vashti for a reason.
Mm,
One is because if you read in the book of Esther how Vashti was the queen before Esther became the queen, you'll learn why she lost her crown. She
mm,
lost her crown because she refused to dance, prance, and model naked, undressed in front of her husband and his friends when he threw this, month-long feast and party. And that was her way of speaking up for herself and saying, I have self worth. I am not going to stoop down to this level. I'm worth more than that. And I wanted to make sure my daughter had a voice and that she would speak up when things were not right. She would speak up when someone was violating anything, any part of her, because that wasn't me as a child. Like, I didn't have that trait, the
yeah,
characteristic. I was afraid to say something when something happened, or I hid it, didn't know how mommy was going to react. So I carried a lot of things on my own because I was afraid to speak up. Whereas I teach my children, and especially Vashti as a little girl, I need you to tell me whatever's going on. Show me, tell me, explain. Let's hear the story. And I choose to listen.
yeah,
I don't know if you ever had the experience growing up where parents, uh, they tuned you out. They didn't want to hear what you had to say. So you picked and chose what you decided to share. But, my boys, I would say, have both sides of me. My oldest is an introvert. My middle child now, who was the baby for so long, he's an extrovert. That is still a part of me because I have my introvert side and then I have my extrovert side. So they both have that part of me. They both are very analytical and they both are creative in their own way. And now Vashti, oh my gosh, not only is she analytical, she reads into things. We're like, wow, how did you put the two together? But
yeah,
she's very creative. She draws at 6 years old. She's creating things, painting things. I mean, this child, she's playing the piano. She's just walking around the house singing. Like, this is my arts child for real. But
yeah,
definitely the age gap is there. She gets to experience love from many different, you know, places because big brothers, mommy and daddy, I'm here by myself. I get all the attention, and I'm a PK, I'm a preacher's kid.
yes.
So I also get the love from the church. But motherhood is a special experience. And it's one that you should be sure you want because it takes a lot of patience.
It really does. It does. It's funny because I guess yeah, both the middle, but with Elle, I guess yeah, it was the son and then the daughter. So with Gavin being in the middle and Elle being the youngest, we say too. Sometimes she does. She operates like she's an only child, even though she does. She's blessed to have her older siblings nearby, but because there are no grandchildren, it's still with the age and our age, she gets the best of all worlds. Uh,
Mhm.
and she gets to experience stuff that her siblings did not. Me being blessed to have two children even prior, even though we're going into this is year 21 for us. Woo!
My goodness.
Right? We're going into 21 years, still being a single mom and understanding that. So yeah, single moms, I get you. I'm with you. I know the look, the challenges and sometimes the struggles, knowing what that felt like and have experienced that. But even with that, still just being grateful to God for his covering and his keeping us even during that, even during when I was for a long time a single mom, because I definitely was very, very, very protective of them. Unless I was believing I was getting ready to be into a serious relationship, as in just about to almost get married, I never allowed my children to meet any gentleman caller because I just didn't want them to see comings and goings, because it just, it just, I mean, to each his own. That is how I just chose to do mine. And with Elle, all of my children are arts. So when you were speaking about her and playing the piano, it's like what I said. To me, I always wanted my children to do everything that I did not get to do.
Yes.
Seriously, because like my mom, God love her, my mother played the piano. We were in church all of our lives. Mom played the piano, but none of us played the piano, right? So I made sure that they all played some type of instrument or had the opportunity. Now, whether they stayed with it is another story, but they still were was able to take the courses, as
Yes.
well as the drawing and the art. You've seen Elle's work. It's
Amazing.
impeccable. Seriously, I'm serious. And
Yes.
it's to be able to do that, to be able to be graced to be called a mom and think about the gap is crazy, right? And then I know in part of our conversation, we were laughing because when we think about our mothers, we talk about our kids a little bit, y'all, but now I need y'all to come in these comments and talk about your moms. God love them, God bless them. But we were laughing and even talking about, the holidays, and possibly we got on the subject of food, right? Put in the comments what are the things that you loved that your mom made, right? I don't care if it was a favorite cake, cookie, some type of what holiday meal. And we were laughing. I even got with my younger sister, was like, what is it you remember that mommy really made? Because over time and as your parents get older, either they start putting too much seasoning or not enough seasoning, right? Y'all come on now. Don't leave me out here by myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
What's your thoughts on that?
my mom was an amazing cook. I have to give her that. We were not allowed in the kitchen. I'm gonna tell you that. We could not come in the kitchen unless it was to wash the dishes. But I learned to cook outside the house because my mother was like, nobody in my kitchen. But she made an amazing macaroni and cheese. That was her thing. Meatloaf. I really loved when she did stuffed peppers. That
Mm,
was one of my favorites. And she could cook anything, like she could throw down. And then if I think about my grandmother, she was the crock pot cooker, right?
mm,
She'll throw something in the crock pot because she had all of the grandchildren at different times during the week. And my favorite crock pot meal would be black eyed peas or lima beans with, at that time we were eating neck bones, right? I don't do pork now, but that was the meal, like neck bones and lima beans or neck bones and black eyed peas. And when I would come home to visit, I would ask my grandmother to make my favorite meal. And that was the black eyed peas or the lima beans. And then fried pork chops, she did that well too. So those were some of the dishes that I can remember. And she had I loved her potato salad versus my mom because my grandmother did not put onions in her potato salad. My mom did.
okay. Look, all right, mom. Look, we love you. We love you. We love you. Yeah. It was funny because my younger sister, she recalled my mom making like a really good spaghetti, right? And I'm like, one of the things that came to mind for me was like chicken and dressing. My mother, I recall chicken and dressing. So, but we know as time goes on, how you kind of, what is the dish that y'all took back that y'all was like, okay, we love you, but you can't, we love you, but you're not, the time has come, and we're gonna, you can no longer do that dish. We love you. We will take care of all the cooking from here. Yeah, 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 yeah. I want y'all to tell me. Don't leave us out here by ourselves, right? This is a special Mother's Day edition. So if you are just now jumping in, we want to thank you for joining this episode of First Ladypreneurs with myself, Shawana Kennedy, and Lady Tiffany Anisette Pringle. And today we are just loving on moms everywhere. We love you. We love you. We love you. We appreciate you. So if no one tells you that you are loved, you are
Yes.
appreciated, and one of the things I even having conversations with my mom, who will be 75 this year. Woo!
Oh,
She will be 75 this year.
beautiful.
Even when things didn't go right, hey, I see you. We do see your comments, so keep them coming. Yes, we do.
Yes.
um, we it's like just being okay to say I believe, right? Whether we believe our parents could have done more or less. It's
Mm-hmm.
choosing to believe that they were doing the best that they could at that time with
Right.
the situations and circumstances that they were facing. So
Yeah.
those are when we think about first ladypreneurs, it's about really the first things first, and then where we choosing to be even at this stage in our mind, right? In our mind, and it's even if because we know stuff do happen. Both
Yeah.
of us, you have a conversation with us, we have some stories to tell, which we'll get
Right.
into in another episode, but it's choosing to then still love from right now, love from a healed place, love from
Mm-hmm.
a place of where you would want somebody to grant you some grace,
Yeah.
especially at a certain age in life. So uh, I'm just loving this conversation. I'm loving the comments. So we appreciate you. Lady Tiffany, it's funny watching her with her youngest because I have experienced the energy of, of her little one, right? And she is full of energy. She has the energy of two or three little kids. So, and with this young lady right here, yeah, that one right here, she wear multiple hats, and to see how our kids are sponges, and
Yes.
that's why we do have to be mindful to remember that. We need to remember that
Mhm.
they are sponges, and not that they shouldn't see some of what it takes for our worlds to spin, because sometimes you can protect your children just a little bit too much,
Mhm.
where they don't realize that it's certain things that you really do have to be able to work through and navigate. And as parents, be mindful, and you as a stop apologizing for certain things. Parents, just be honest with them. That's part of my mom wisdom. Be honest with them.
Yes.
One of the things that even in these later years is having conversations with all of my children. And I even said it, and I say it all the time, and I'm so glad. There is nothing that, of course, certain things, me being a grown woman, certain things will go to the grave with me, right? Y'all know what I'm saying. I believe anything, and I mean it, anything that I believe that my children needed to hear from me, they have heard it. That
Mhm.
way, I don't believe that there is anything that is left unsaid. And
Mhm.
I think that is huge. Uh,
Yes.
being and finding and asking God for the right time to
Right.
have conversations, not to even so much ask for forgiveness, but just to, if you believe it's a case of saying, I just wanted to make sure that they hear it from my point of view and how things might have really truly been with me. And I'm so grateful that God allowed me time in these later years to have those conversations with all of my children, so that I believe I have a clean slate. No, not a perfect mother, not in the least, but
Right.
I am the most perfect that I could be at this
Mhm.
stage in my life. So, what's your thoughts on that?
Definitely. You can only give what you have.
Yeah,
And there's a saying that I love that says children did not come with a manual, they came with a mother.
yeah,
So we have to navigate this thing called life, and being a mother and expressing motherhood to our children. I do want to also share that this conversation was sparked because of a Netflix series that's on now, a docu-series called In Our Mother's Gardens, where individuals were sharing stories about their mothers and grandmothers and what they remembered. And outside of the food, I wanted to also share there were things that my mother and my grandmother did that I hold dear to, and it shaped who I am. So, my grandmother was the one that took me to church all the time. And that's where my love for God grew, because we were in church on Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, Terry service, Sunday school. And that's where I had an opportunity to birth gifts that I didn't know existed. And it was nurtured in that place. So I always say I was my grandmother's favorite. Everyone else says I'm my grandmother's favorite. So when she passed, it was really hard. But when she passed, I felt that I gained a sense of strength. When I tell you, it was like I could feel her spirit coming over me. And it gave me a sense of strength that I didn't have. I felt like Superwoman. Like, I know I just lost you, but you left something here and I feel it. And
Mhm.
then my mother, despite some of the things that we endured, she was a single mother raising four children. Well, my mother made sure we had game night on Saturdays.
Mm.
And that's where I grew a love for board games. And my siblings will tell you today, oh, Tiffany got all the board games. I'll pull out a game in a minute, like Scrabble, Monopoly. And now Vashti is wanting to play these games. And even, I went to go visit my son. He's in a dorm in Orlando in college, and looked in his closet. He had Monopoly. I was like, look at you. He had not only Monopoly, he had other games. I said, look at you bringing what I taught you into your life at this stage. It just made my heart smile. So all the little things that we sometimes don't think about, they run deep and they have significant meaning in our lives, and we should cherish even the simplest thing about our experiences with our mothers and our grandmothers.
Yeah. Wow. With my grandmother and mother, one of the things, like you said, I definitely know because my mom is the second oldest of 17. My grandmother had 17. Yes, 17.
Wow.
9 girls and 8 boys. And of course, needless to say, they were always, always in church. So what, besides, of course, some tea
We
cakes,
had a
anybody
church. Sorry.
know? Hello, 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 hello. They definitely were the choir. How about that? So when you knew that the Walkers was at church, you're right. You had all sections because between the 17 and definitely the last
Wow.
13, 14, they for a minute it was at least 10 of them still around my grandmother at any given time. So being there and going to church with my grandmother and her singing, and then of course the love of music with my mother. Of course, that is always the special thing for me is music and God gracing me with the gift of song and giving me a voice. And I tell people often that I believe Jesus saved my soul, but He gave me music, which was passed down through them to save and keep my mind, in life. So
Yeah.
those are the things that I definitely cherish outside of tea cakes. Anybody know Margie Walker and them tea cakes? You could smell them a mile away, and people would come from all over for my grandmother's tea cakes.
What
Uh,
is a tea cake? Never heard of it.
a tea cake is basically like a homemade cookie before they were doing sugar cookies and all of this stuff. It's
Oh,
the rolled flour, and of course you get the coffee cup to make your shape, the shape, and with a couple of little spices and cinnamon and stuff, and put them in the oven, and we would have trays and trays and trays because it would be so many kids and so many neighbors, children that would come, and even like my aunt Penny, who lives in Orlando, she still make a pretty mean tea cake today. And I think it's only one of my cousins that live in Texas. She kind of picked up the mantle too, and she made, my cousin Pooh, she make a mean tea cake too. So shout out to Pooh and Aunt Penny. But yeah, those are memories of just even we already know food always brings us together.
yes.
And wanted to just think about moms and how special, because we're mothers every day. We know we're grateful that they put us on a calendar to then recognize us, right? And so and as mothers and even making sacrifices. So we know, and I really do try not to put any pressure on my children, especially around this time. I would rather you love me all year long. Not that I mind gifts. You better hear me, children. Hear me well. I love flowers, but no, seriously, where it's just really the constant love, because love is action and it should be all the time, not
Mhm.
just the one Sunday, the second Sunday of May every year.
Yes.
So and
So for
I,
me, I wanted to make sure that me and my children were close. That was my ultimate desire. I want to make sure that we have a bond that can't be separated. So I'm okay with the phone calls every week, several times a week or per
Yeah.
day from my boys, because I want to be that person to give them the guidance and
Yeah.
tell them what to do in these situations. They don't have to go to external people to ask those questions. That's
Mhm.
what I am here for. So I do love the gifts, and I made sure I made when they called me this week and last week, I said, Mother's Day is
Yeah.
Sunday, right? So one of them sent me a message, said, Mom, can you send me your address again? And
Mhm.
like the other, Mommy, I want to take you out to dinner. Okay. I mean, and I said, this is practice, because one day you're going to be with a significant other and you're going to have to celebrate them with these holidays. I love all my holidays. I'm not one of those people that says, oh, you don't have to, or I don't celebrate holidays. Listen, I want all my holidays.
Yeah, no, let's be clear. Let's be clear. I want all mine. I want it all. Uh, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I want it all. And it's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with that, especially if you have relationship, right? And the key is relationship, because when you have relationship, it comes easier. Uh,
Yes.
and so that's what that is what that is about. So I'm just glad that we pause for the cause to recognize special moms all over the place. We sending you love, 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 and light and positive energy. And definitely hearts goes out to those who this weekend will be a little bit tough. We're praying for you. You are not forgotten. Um, and just but still we would be remiss if we did not talk about it, because it's important. We know what we're queens, right? Thing that was me putting on my crown, right? And we know the power in which that we possess.
Yeah.
And so it's like keeping the first things first. Of course, we know God and all things, God is ahead of all, but then he do give us and grant us grace to be our best selves. And that one of the things that he graced us with was being a mother,
Yeah.
and of all the things he did, because they don't choose to be here, right? And so it's a blessing for him to then say, I choose you to allow and be the carrier of
Mhm.
some other little person. And
Yeah.
it is a blessing, it is a gift, it is a gift. So just in case it is somebody who is listening, and for whatever reason the circumstance or situation, and you saying, but I didn't ask for that, I believe it doesn't matter. No devil in hell. God is the giver of life, and we know that. Sure, do we do certain things on our own, and some of that is our um, responsibility, and we have to own it and be the best that we can in those positions, and be okay to even ask for help and get help.
Yes.
Because now with so many things available for single moms, and that get the help that you need. You are not alone. So we
Mhm.
want you to know that we love you too. Uh, and we're sending all the positive energy, all the positive energy, all the love, love, love. I'm so grateful that I get to be here with Lady Tiffany Anisette Pringle. I'm excited to be a part of this First Ladypreneurs.
Yeah.
We're understanding the importance of putting you first, never above God, but it is important that you know what you need so that you can go out into this big world and show up in your own special God-given way. And I'm excited. So thank you for the people who've been hanging in here with us. Thank
Yes.
you for all of the hearts that we see, the hearts, we see the shares, we see the
Yes.
also, don't be afraid that we do have a group. Let us know if you want to be a part of that group. It is right now, currently, it is a private Facebook group, because we want to give some juicy things to the first ladies, that to let you know that you matter. You do matter. You matter. You matter that much. And
Yeah.
we want to be here to be a community that do more than just with lip service. So we
And
have exciting things coming down the pipe, and I'm excited to be a part of this. So let us know, even if you need to direct message either one of us, to let us know how we can be of service to you, or our community can work together to share valued information that can help make your, even if it's a stop, to make your life just a little bit easier, because we care about you. What you got to say, lady, as we get ready to get out of here?
thank you all so much for being a part of the conversation. And stay tuned for more of these conversations to come. We will be interviewing other amazing women on this platform and inviting others to be a part of this special group. And just know, as Lady Kennedy shared, we are here to support you and your dreams to do something that you've never done before. Take yourself out of the box that you've put yourself in all these years and launch and evolve, grow, and become what you truly desire to become. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you guys. See you next time.